the Beavs squaring off with
Oh,
the Cougs. Two teams that you and I look. I have Oregon State's win total over 8.5. You have Washington State's over win total 6.5. This is a showdown of preseason. Each of us picked the team that we were high on in the Pac-12. Now, I was high on a lot of teams who took a lot of their overs because Pac-12 is a wagon. And guess what? They are. So,
yeah. We saw that coming, by the way. And most people
yeah.
should have. If you looked at the
Yeah.
quarterback talent in this conference, especially this game here, Cameron Ward playing much better than he did last year. DJU playing much better than he did last year and the year before at Clemson. Now, the thing is I love Washington State. I've been riding them, Jake Dickert. You love Jake Dickert. I love Jake Dickert. I also love Oregon State and Christopher Smith. I love or Jonathan Smith. I'm sorry. Christopher Smith's the safety from Georgia. Wow. Oregon State. I mean, this is an awesome game. It's going to be 6 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. local time there, out in Pullman, Washington. It's another big time team, top 25 team coming into Pullman. Last time that was Wisconsin, and I took Wisconsin to lose. I called the upset. I said Washington State's going to play well. And if you want to talk about how that happens, if you're Washington State, you follow the same formula. You jump on them, you create explosive plays defensively and offensively with your edge rushers. You bottle up Oregon State's running game and Damian Martinez, and then Cam Ward has to beat Cam Ward and play like he has all season. But it's tough though. I mean, these two teams are, the sole remaining teams, I believe, as of right now of the Pac-12. It's going to be hard to pick one of them. I cannot stop now. Give me Washington State to win. Give me them to cover +3. Let's go. Let's go, Cougs.
Let's go Cougs. Let's go Cougs. Uh, this is a really tough game for me because going into the season, I did not think Washington State was going to be able to stop the run. I guess that's my fault because up until this point, they've done exactly that. And you could say, oh, well, they played Colorado State. Who else did they play? Oh, yeah, Wisconsin. Yeah, they played Wisconsin. Okay. Now, you're going to tell me the difference between Oregon State's offensive line and Wisconsin's offensive line? I would say it is. You ever heard of something called the Grand Canyon? Right? That gap right there
Okay,
is the
okay, come
difference.
on now. Come on now. Part of that was due to Washington State. That Washington State made Wisconsin's O-line look bad. And let me tell you this, though, to add to your point, though, for those of you not casuals, I'm sorry. Thanks for listening to our podcast. But a lot of people in the national media, and you see running back rankings, everybody has Braylon Allen super high, deservingly so. He's a really good running back. Damian Martinez is a better running back than Braylon Allen. I have no doubt about it. You're a
Wait,
huge fan
wait.
of him.
Who's been saying this for the last, I don't know, year? Who's been saying that?
I agree. And I think he could have a really nice day. I just hope he doesn't. I just hope he doesn't.
I get it. And with that being said, I am taking the Cougs to cover and to win at home.
Wow.
I know. Think about how a lot has changed in 3
SMH,
weeks.
man.
I know, SMH. I'm literally letting my beeves down. I'm letting my beeves down. But here's my reasoning, though. Like, Washington State, so Cam Ward, I knew he was a good quarterback. I was really, really high on him last year, right? And I took their win total over plus 135 to win more than 5.5 games. My easiest non-sweat bet of the entire year. It was unbelievable. But it was not because of Cam Ward, it's because of that defense, right? So going into this year, I was like, well, they lost Dan Henley, they lost Maligoa, right? They still have like elite pass rush right there on the edge, but there's so many good offensive lines in the Pac-12. I'm like, are they going to be able to? But so far, their defense has more than impressed. I mean, if we're looking at numbers right here, I get it that Oregon State's only allowed 2.3 yards per carry, but Washington State's only allowed 2.6 yards per carry defensively. And again, that includes Wisconsin in that total as well. So I get that Oregon State, their offensive line is really, really good. I do think DJU, like, while he looked good like the first couple weeks, this is a spot where it's like, hey, we've seen you really goof up in some big time games.
Yep.
You've seen you really goof up on the road a couple of times. Is he going to be able to do it? Is he going to be able to is he going to be able to cash out, make those big time plays? Remember, we talked about Oregon State's wide receivers are not very big. While they've done pretty well this season, they're not very big. So if they're not able to run the ball effectively, right? How do we know that these receivers are going to be able to out physical these corners, right? These DBs for Washington State. If this was in Corvallis, I would take Oregon State to win and cover if this was the same line, right? But I can't do it. I think Washington State gets it done at home to cover and win. But I don't think that this means that Oregon State can't go over their win total. I don't think that's not what that means. This is I think you might have been right about Washington State in some instances. And they're getting a high level opponent at home, right? So, and I think Cam Ward can rise to the occasion.
Yeah, that's the thing is I think you have a really good team in Washington State at home and points. I think that's what I'm doing here. But I'm still super high on Oregon State. I know you are. You just said you are. And DJU, I would like to see him run the ball a little bit more. And I don't know how much the design QB run or QB keep is in Oregon State's offense because it's hard to take the ball out of, Damian Martinez's hands. But I mean, he had 3 attempts against San Diego State. He's had a touchdown in all 3 of his games he's played. I think that'd be really sneaky. And you kind of control Rod Stone and Brendan Jackson, the elite edge duo on the edge for Washington State, with the rushing the passer or clamp it down on Damian Martinez inside. But yeah, Oregon State, keys to the game. You got to run the ball. You got to play ahead of the chains.
You have to.
Do not.
And I think they can, but if they don't, they're in trouble.
But even so, you're still gonna have to play really good defense. You're still gonna have to finish drives. You cannot let what Wisconsin did happen to you, right? You have to watch that game on film, and you have to be like, "This is how we're not letting this happen," because Washington State can pounce on you, and I would like to see DJU, continue to play well, make some big time throws, extend the pocket, use his legs like Cam Ward did in that Wisconsin game. Cam Ward was running all over the place and did a really, really good job finding players, extending plays, throwing out of sacks, which is another big thing, eliminating negative plays, keeping your offense with a chance instead of, 2nd and 20, or 2nd and 18, it's 2nd and 10, right? Or it's 3rd and 7 instead of, 3rd and 15 with a big time sack. So yeah, this is going to be an awesome game. Again, very, very good game. However this goes, I will not feel that much worse or that much better about either one of these teams. Both these teams super high on it. It's going to be a high level game at night in the Pac-12. What more could you ask for?
Right? 6 p.m. Central. 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. local time there, out in Pullman. I mean,
this is awesome.
What a week, man! What a week. I'm happy. By the way, I want to say this one time. I'm really happy for Oregon State and Washington State. Those fans, those programs, those coaches, they deserve this year. And unfortunately, one of these teams is going to lose, right? Because you have to lose in a football game. That just happens. And everyone is going to sell all their stock on the team that loses. And I just beg you not to. These are 2 really good teams. Somebody has to lose. It doesn't change the teams that they are, right? It's just one game. Like a lot of these teams can still do a lot of things in the Pac-12. Don't get too discouraged if you lose this game, if you're either one of these teams.